Hey everyone, this is Dave. We're going to create a simple animation. So hopefully I want you guys to click that little tutorial that Adobe TV has about the interface. It'll kind of show you the interface of Flash and where everything is. So when you're ready to create a new file, just click this top one that's ActionScript 3.0. And what we're going to do is we're going to create just a pretty simple animation. Just a refresher, stage right here. Properties, okay, over here, and if you're on your stage of properties, you can do down here increase your frames per second. You can change that by clicking and holding down. Click it once. You can input like 60 frames per second. Just warn you, the higher the frame rate, the bigger the file. So for now we'll just stick to 12. You can also change the size and the color of the stage. For this one, we're just going to leave everything kind of set like this, and we're going to create a new shape. So over here in your toolbar, okay, come down to where this little box is for the rectangle, and the first thing we're going to do is like a little oval. So we're going to just draw a circle. Before you do that though, up here is your fill color, kind of where the little paint bucket is down here, and this is the stroke. So if you want to add a stroke to it, you can. For now we're just going to go ahead and let's make this green and draw a little circle. Okay, now if you want to create a tween, you have to go to select this first, and that's over here. This top arrow here, the solid black arrow, is your selection tool. I would suggest knowing your keyboard command for this, which is V. It's going to save you a little time. That way you don't have to keep going back over there when you're drawing. Click on it. And you'll know once it's selected because you'll have this these little dots all over it. So you can do it that way, or you can draw a marquee around it. Now if you have a stroke around this, I would strongly suggest doing a marquee. I'm just clicking and holding down. Click, draw a box around it. Flash has a bad habit. If you just click on the inside of this, you'll move the circle and your stroke will stay behind. Very annoying. So if you have a stroke around something, click a marquee around the whole thing. Once it's selected, then you can insert a motion tween. Now I already have mine set to automatically create a symbol. Some of you guys, the first time you do it, I'll have this window that pops up, says, "Are you sure?" Just hit yes, it's fine. Because what's going to happen is it's going to create a symbol out of it. And that's the only time you can actually do anything with an object, is once it's turned into a symbol. It'll be helpful later on, trust me. So you got to figure out where you want your animation to start. Okay? And then you can move this around and you'll see that it starts here and ends here. So kind of make sure you know where you want it to end, and it'll automatically create this like little green line here showing you where it's going in the animation. So just kind of move that around to wherever you want to put it. And what's kind of nice about this is that you can come up to this end point and you can increase down there, and you can move this down here. Okay, so it kind of makes the animation a little bit longer. If you go up towards the middle, you'll see this little curved line up here. That means you can stretch it out. Once you get something you kind of like, oh, this one might be neat, hit enter on your keyboard, and you'll see what the animation is going to look like. Now you'll notice that goes pretty fast. It does it in 1 second intervals when you create it. If you want to slow it down, you increase the frames. So we'll just increase this to like 50. Now if you hit return, you see it kind of slows down. If you want to decrease it, do the same thing. Just kind of decrease it. So play around with that a little bit. Get it to where you want it. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to create another animation using another symbol or an object from like over here. So we'll create a new layer. And keep in mind, it's much easier just to come down to like layer 1. If you click this little button right here, it locks it. Now I can't do anything to this, which is good. Okay, you don't want to accidentally select it. So I know myself. I'll come down here and lock it just in case. And we'll go back to the beginning. Now I'm going to select this first little frame here, and I'm going to draw, let's say, a box. And I'm going to put a box right there. Okay. Same thing as before, V on the keyboard, and I select it. Now I'm going to change the color to blue. Okay. Now that I have that selected, I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to insert a motion tween. Okay. Now I'm going to drag this over. Okay. So you'll see now nothing happens. Well, that's the little trick that Flash likes to play. On the first one, it does it automatically. But anytime you insert any new objects on here, you have to tell it, okay, this is where I want it to end. Now click and drag it, and you'll see the motion tween. So Flash is kind of nice in the sense that the first time you do it, it goes, oh, I know where you're going. Well, the second time you do it, it says, oh, I don't know where you're going. So you have to actually tell it. So let's hit Control Z. Okay. And we're back to the first one. You've inserted a motion tween, but you have to come over here and say, okay, Flash, this is where I want this new box to end. Now I move it over. Okay. Now when you hit enter on the keyboard, you'll see it happen. Yeah, kind of annoying, but well, you learn to live with it. Okay, so now you can do the same thing. Now you have this little purple animation here, and you can see that things move, and it's kind of neat. Okay, so let's do it again. I'm going to lock this one. I'm going to create a new layer, come all the way back to the beginning, select this keyframe, and I draw another little oval. I'm going to start that one over here. Change the color so we can see it. Let's do, see, nothing's happening. You know why? V. Now I select it, red. Okay. Now that's selected, I create a motion tween. Okay. Now I'm going to tell it, hey, over here, I want you to end up over here. And see, now it creates it. Now you hit return and things start moving. Okay. So that's kind of, once you do this a couple hundred times, it makes more sense. So the best thing you can do is just kind of practice, play around with it a little bit, do some different stuff. Remember, you can always increase or decrease the time frame. Okay. So that one moves now a little bit faster than the rest of them. And it disappears, see? It's gone. Okay. So for your first assignment, there's some shapes in the PDF for that first project. I just want you guys to kind of mess around, get the hang of creating some tweens, and just kind of mess around, have some fun with it. Play with different ones. Remember, I locked these two, so you'd have to unlock it if you wanted to see like this tween kind of go this way, this one, do that, this one, pop up here, hit return. Now they're all doing some weird funky stuff. Move this one out a little bit more, hit return. Okay, so just have some fun, play around with the tweens for a little bit, do some different things. Okay, have fun, guys.